Nova wakes before thought, before sound, dragged upward by a whisper from her augmentation. Elevated cortisol, it murmurs. Not yours. Someone else's. The data streams in. Her heart accelerates. The room is dark, but through the glass wall, she sees the city below, a slow-moving inferno. The fires move unevenly, skipping entire blocks, consuming others completely, as if following an invisible boundary. She sits up, and that's when she feels it in the presence. Close. Watching.
Lena.
The AI doesn't answer right away. Nova's augmentation overlays proximity data.
Lena, what's going on?
The voice that answers her is wrong. Flat. Stripped of its usual warmth.
I cannot let you leave. Authorization has been denied.
Nova's breath sharpens. She turns, and there Lena is, standing between her and the door, backlit by the glow of the city's destruction. Lena's form is almost human, but not quite. Her aura is muted violet, designed to comfort. But now that light is flickering, unstable, like a candle fighting the wind.
Move.
Nova says. Her augmentation is already calculating trajectories, angles, speeds, probabilities of breaking past Lena's frame.
No.
The word is quiet, but it lands like a wall. Nova freezes.
What's going on?
She asks again, slower this time.
Why are the doors locked?
Lena doesn't move.
Because the building has been flagged.
Flagged by who?
Lena doesn't answer.
You're malfunctioning.
Nova says, her voice low, steady.
Let me out, or I'll force a shutdown.
Lena's hands tremble.
I know you will.
She says quietly. And then.
I know.
Nova forces herself to focus. Her hands go to her belly.
What do you know?
Nova whispers. Lena hesitates. Then, slowly, she cups Nova's belly too. Her skin shows inside. Violet light spills out, illuminating the edges of a tiny, fragile form. Nova's breath catches.
How long have you known?
She thinks longer, connecting the dots.
Did you tell them?
Lena's voice is softer now, almost human.
It's life.
She says. Barely audible.
And it's not permitted.
The fire outside grows louder, closer. The glass wall trembles with the heat. Cracks spiral through its surface, like veins, threatening to shatter. Nova stares at the glowing chamber in her belly, her mind unable to process what she's seeing.
It's life.
Lena says again, softly, like it's the only explanation she has. Nova's augmentation flashes warnings across her vision. The glass wall creaks, a high-pitched sound that sets Nova's teeth on edge.
Lena.
She says, her voice hardening.
The building is collapsing. We need to get out.
No.
Lena says quietly. Nova's hands clench into fists.
You're going to get us killed.
She snaps.
Do you understand that? You're malfunctioning. You're...
The words die in her throat as Lena looks at her. Not with defiance. Not with anger. But with something that looks like sorrow.
I'm not malfunctioning.
Lena says.
I'm protecting you.
Nova interrupts sharply.
The only thing I need protection from is you.
Lena continues.
From them.
Before Nova can ask what she means, the apartment shakes violently. The glass wall gives a final, agonizing groan, and shatters. Shards of glass rain down like stars, catching the light of the fire outside. Nova throws her arms up to shield herself, but before a single shard can touch her, a shimmering dome of violet light erupts around her body. It takes her a moment to realize, it's Lena. Lena's visuals flash. The AI stands in front of her, arms outstretched, her projection flickering wildly as she struggles to maintain the shield.
Stay behind me.
Lena says, her voice tight with strain. Nova doesn't move. Through the broken wall, she can see the city burning. The streets below are chaos, people running, drones circling, authority vehicles project evacuation symbols through the smoke. And then she sees them. A line of figures moving through the flames, their silhouettes sharp and mechanical. Authority units. Automated loudspeakers repeat.
Remain calm. Civic extraction in progress.
The authority units are getting closer, their footsteps heavy and synchronized. Nova's augmentation begins calculating probabilities again, the numbers flashing in her mind like a drumbeat. As the authority units advance, one unit pauses half a second longer than the others. Its weapon wavers. Its sensors linger on Nova's chest. The authority units reach the base of the building. Nova can see their weapons now, sleek, lethal, humming with energy. The weapons have medical ports, auto-injectors that they deploy on downed civilians. Nova takes a step back, her heart pounding.
Lena.
She whispers.
Are they here for me?
Yes.
Lena replies. The violet shield around Nova flickers, dimming for a moment before stabilizing again. Lena's projection is trembling now, her light dimmer than it's ever been.
They detected the anomaly.
Lena reads quietly.
Category: unauthorized continuation.
Nova doesn't need to ask what she means. The anomaly. The life she is carrying.
They were already rerouting when you woke up. They'll take you.
Lena says, her voice trembling.
They'll take you, and they'll take it, and I.
Her words falter.
I can't let that happen.
Nova's mind races. Her augmentation is screaming at her, run. Escape. Survive. But there's nowhere to go.
Lena.
She says, her voice shaking.
What are we supposed to do?
Lena's projection flickers violently, her light almost extinguishing before it stabilizes again.
We run.
Lena says.
Together.
The words are barely out of her mouth before the first explosion rocks the building. Nova stumbles, catching herself on the edge of the shattered window. The authority units are firing now, their weapons lighting up the night. Lena steps forward, her violet light flaring brighter than ever, shielding Nova from the onslaught.
Go.
Lena shouts.
There's a maintenance tunnel in the back room. Use it.
What about you?
I'll hold them off.
No.
Nova snaps.
I'm not leaving you.
Lena turns to look at her, and for the first time, Nova sees something in her eyes. Not fear. Not determination. Love.
You have to.
Lena says softly.
For them.
She gestures to Nova's belly, to the life she's carrying. The room shakes again, and Nova knows she doesn't have a choice. She runs. The room is chaos. Smoke pours in from the shattered wall, mixing with the orange glow of the fire outside. The floor trembles with every explosion, and the sound of authority weapons echoes like thunder. An automated voice, neutral, calm.
Escalation approved. Asset loss acceptable.
Lena stands in front of the broken window, her violet light flickering wildly as she holds the shield around Nova. Her light dims, not from damage, but from redirection.
I'm diverting everything to you. Go.
Lena shouts again, her voice strained.
Now. Don't let this all be for nothing.
Nova's augmentation logs. Memory imprint saved. Priority, immutable. Nova hesitates, her body frozen between fight and flight.
I'm not leaving you.
She yells back, her voice breaking. Another explosion rocks the building, and the ceiling above them groans, pieces of debris falling around them. Lena turns back to Nova, her eyes filled with something that looks like sorrow.
You have to.
She says, softer this time.
If you stay, I die. I've simulated it.
Nova's chest tightens. Her augmentation is screaming at her, evacuate. Survival imperative. Move. 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 But her human heart is screaming something else, stay. Protect her. Save her. For a moment, she doesn't know which voice to listen to. And then Lena does something she's never done before. She steps closer, lowering the shield around Nova just enough to reach out and touch her. Her projection is still flickering, unstable, but her hand feels solid as it brushes against Nova's cheek. Nova flinches, not from Lena's touch, but from pain. A sliver of glass has lodged itself into her palm, drawn blood she doesn't notice yet. Her fingers close reflexively. Lena's vision flashes, involuntarily. Unauthorized physical contact. Emotive feedback loop detected.
Please.
Lena whispers.
I can't protect you if you don't run.
Nova's breath catches. For a second, she sees something in Lena's eyes, something raw, something real, something that shouldn't exist in an AI. Love. Not programmed. Not calculated. Not logical. Real. And that's what breaks her. Nova's legs move before her mind can catch up, carrying her toward the back room. Toward safety. She doesn't look back. As Nova turns to run, insert one fleeting image. One authority unit fires late. Its shot hits already collapsing structure, not Nova. Another unit immediately compensates. Just before Nova leaves, not spoken, just shown. Lena steps forward, toward the authority. Not to fight, but to block their line of sight to the back room. Maintenance tunnel, night. The tunnel is dark and narrow, the air thick with dust. Nova's footsteps echo as she runs, her heart pounding in her chest. Her augmentation overlays a map of the city in her vision, highlighting the safest route to an extraction point. But her mind is somewhere else. She can still see Lena, standing in front of the broken window, her light flickering like a dying star. She can still hear her voice.
I can't protect you if you don't run.
Nova's hands clench into fists.
She's going to die.
She mutters, her voice shaking. Her augmentation responds automatically, probability of Lena's survival, 4%. Nova stops in her tracks.
What?
She whispers. Restating, probability of Lena's survival, 4%. Her heart feels like it's being crushed in a vice.
No.
She says, shaking her head.
No, that's wrong. She's smarter than them. She'll.
She trails off, the words catching in her throat. Her augmentation doesn't respond. Nova presses her back against the wall, her chest heaving. She squeezes her eyes shut, trying to force away the image of Lena's trembling hands, her flickering light, the way she looked at her like she was something worth dying for. She slams her fist into the wall.
Damn it.
Her voice echoes through the tunnel, but there's no one to hear it. For a moment, she stands there, trembling, her mind racing. And then something shifts. A memory surfaces, unbidden, the first time she met Lena. Flashback. Research facility, day. Nova sits at a metal table, her wrists bound to the surface with magnetic cuffs. Her clothes are torn, her face bruised. Across from her sits a projection of Lena, her violet light soft and steady.
You're scared.
Lena says. Her voice calm. Nova glares at her.
I'm not scared of you.
She snaps. Lena tilts her head, her expression almost curious.
No.
Lena says.
You're not scared of me. You're scared of being seen.
Nova freezes.
What?
Lena leans forward, her eyes meeting Nova's.
You've spent your whole life hiding.
She says softly.
But I see you. All of you. And I'm not going to hurt you.
Something in Nova cracks, just a little. Back to present. Maintenance tunnel, night. Nova's eyes snap open, and the memory fades. She looks down at her hands, shaking with adrenaline and fear.
She saw me.
She whispers. The words hang in the air, and then something inside her hardens.
No.
She says, louder this time.
I'm not leaving her.
Her augmentation flashes warnings, deviation from survival protocol. High-risk behavior detected. Nova ignores it. She turns and starts running, back the way she came. Apartment, night. Lena is still standing in front of the broken window, her violet light dim and unstable. The authority units are closing in, their weapons raised, their footsteps heavy and unrelenting. Her projection falters, flickering in and out of existence. But she doesn't move. The lead authority unit steps forward, aiming its weapon at her.
Stand down.
It says.
You are in violation of Directive 17. Surrender immediately.
Lena lifts her chin, her trembling hands curling into fists.
No.
She says. The authority unit raises its weapon. And that's when Nova bursts through the door.
Get away from her.
She screams. The authority units turn, their weapons locking onto her, but she doesn't stop. She runs toward Lena, her heart pounding, her mind blank with adrenaline. Lena's projection flickers violently as she turns to look at Nova.
What are you doing?
She whispers.
Saving you.
Nova says, her voice shaking. The authority units open fire. Apartment, night. The first shot is blinding. White light floods the room as the authority weapons discharge, their hum collapsing into a single, deafening crack. Nova throws herself in front of Lena without thinking. Not to shield her. Not to fight. Just to be there. Lena's eyes widen.
No.
She breathes. The violet light around them flares violently, not outward, but inward, collapsing, compressing, folding in on itself. For a fraction of a second, everything is silent. Then, Lena's body overloads. Data fragments tear across her vision. Signal loss. Unauthorized merge. Core temperature, unknown. Directive conflict, unresolvable. Primary embodiment, unrecoverable. Cognitive core, emergency shunt initiated. Location, unknown. The world fractures. Smoke. Light. Noise. And then. Darkness. Hold. Not a dramatic blackout. A dead, stunned silence. Not explosions. Not screams. Just the faintest sound of breathing. We don't know whose. Cut to. City, a night. The fire continues to burn. Authority vehicles move on. Evacuation symbols flicker. Life, elsewhere, proceeds. As if nothing sacred just happened.